simulation of a home-based alarm clock mechanism in Xilinx ISE using BASYS 3 ARTIX 7 FPGA board and Verilog.
One, two, three. We
We are
are
RD
RD
Express!
Express. I am Rolando Melecio, the leader, and these are my member.
I am Joenher Arevalo.
I'm Jerome de Vera.
And I am Christian Menard Gonzales.
Introduction. Time is such a fundamental concept that is very difficult to define. To measure time is needed something that will repeat itself at regular intervals. The number of intervals counted gives a quantitative measure of the duration. The earliest reference for the measurement of the time are the moon and sun. When the sun and the moon were not visible, it was impossible to know the exact time. So clocks were developed to measure out the hours between checks with the sun and the moon.
Objective of the study. The main objective of this study is for the alarm clocks process and assessment. Designing for the self, social rule, consumer, behavior, material ownership attachment, children, parents, bedtime, wake up, etc., as well as our thoughts, and creating for the self as a result of our contemplation.
System block diagram. This system block diagram Verilog code for an FPGA alarm clock from FPGA alarm clock implementation. Verilog code can be entirely synthesized. The alarm clock display a real-time clock in 24 hours format and has an alarm function. Switches can also be used to adjust the clock time.
Pseudocode. Step 1. Initialization of alarm clock. Step 2. Update time checking for alarms. Step 3. Check if turning alarm is on or off. Step 4. Take care of any clock setting. Step 5. Display the current value of time, alarm, or snooze.
General functions. Sa FPGA implementation, the Verilog code is fully synthesizable. The following diagram depicts a simple alarm clock mechanism. The alarm clock displayed a real-time clock with a 24 hours format as well as an alarm. Switches can also be used to set the alarm clock.
Specifications. To give alarm to an individual or a group of individuals as at a specified time. To turn off alarm with its corresponding sound and light. A button or handle on the clock is pressed for the reminders as well.
Background of the study. Time is such a fundamental concept that is very difficult to define. To measure time is needed something that will repeat itself at regular intervals. The number of intervals counted gives a quantitative measure of the duration. The earliest references for the measurement of the time are the moon and sun. When the sun and the moon were not visible, it was impossible to know the exact times. So, alarm clocks were developed to measure out the hours between checks with the sun and the moon. Alarm clocks are a common fixture at most bedrooms. People have been using alarms of sorts to wake well before clocks were even a thing. The morning sun was the original cue to rise and shine. Roosters have been likely been crowing sleepers awake for eons. Booming industrial factories in the 18th century relied on an on-time workforce and would sound morning whistles to rouse their workers living nearby. Some cities and companies even employed a knocker-up, designated people that would go door to door delivering wake-up calls. It wasn't until 1870s that alarm clocks started to become a common thing in private homes with the advent of the mechanical wind-up version. Over time, this fixture cemented its position in the bedroom. incorporating additional features like radio receivers, cuckoos, snooze button, and more modern alarm clocks continue to evolve, with everything from light-based alarms to clocks that run across the room and even phone apps. Therefore, by implementing a more efficient home-based alarm clock mechanism, creates a new approach to the traditional way of using alarm clocks.
Input-output chart. Input, timer start, process, the time was increasing. Output, LDC display.
Thank you, and again, we are...
One, two, three.
Argent
Argent
friends!
friends!